What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Lockout Podcast. I'm your host, Josh, coaching captain of the Young and the Gould. I'm here with Hawko.
That's right, Hawko. I am manager of the Dark Brotherhood. Jeez, I'm Yoda at the moment.
All right, Sam, I am.
Yoda. Ryan across from me, as per usual.
And you've got your favourite wingman over here.
Amazing.
Leader of
story.
Greater Western Richmond. And to my left.
Yeah, it's Croxy back again for another episode. Juck Fosh FC is my team and greatest team on the podcast.
We're just blocking it at this point.
Beep, beep.
Yeah, beep.
But we are back. Back again.
That's right, another preview/review 2024-2025.
Yeah.
Second
The
one with all
year's
of us here.
slowly ticking away as well,
Yeah,
which is a
Croxy,
bit
you're back
crazy.
for the second episode for you this year now.
Let's see if he contributes this time.
Jeez.
I did last time.
Yeah, it was his
Jesus.
team. He had to contribute. Sure.
Yeah, briefly. He's just talking shit about Essendon and how McAndrew kicked goals against Essendon. That's all I remember from
Why
last
are we
podcast.
doing
Well,
this?
all I remember was you guys were the only ones that lost to us at home.
Yeah.
All right, we've moved on.
Anyway,
We're
it's a
talking
different
about
game.
No
St Kilda.
Essendon, no thing. Yes, the Saints.
So big changes this year at the Saints.
What on the ladder?
No, not on the ladder. Just
It was on the ladder as
their
well.
prospects. They obviously didn't meet them.
Well, top six finish the year before
Yeah, exactly.
to where?
So, yeah.
To a flop, basically.
to 12th.
Yeah. So I think, big changes. Ross the boss, he had his defensive mindset. Few challenges in terms of injuries as well,
They did.
which is never good.
They also lost 6 games by less than 10 points.
Yeah. They're always
So-
in it, but they just seem to, do it to themselves.
But if you're not going to win any close games like that in such a tough spot for the 8 this year was so tight. You're going to lose games like that. You're not going to make the 8.
yeah, well, what is it? 13 wins got you to 8th place.
And you
and
change
they
that
finished
to,
on 11.
So if you add 3 wins, though, they've only lost 3 by less than 10 points. They're in.
Yeah, easy. They're in. That takes them like 5th place.
Yeah, crazy. But that's the little wrap up, I suppose, of St Kilda. Ins for the
Few
Saints.
ins.
Few draft picks.
You got-
Mate, and this
One.
draft class, as we've mentioned multiple times, is stacked. They got
So
2.
Before we go to the draft,
Hmm.
I just want to call out a little special mention for Jack McRae coming on into St Kilda. Mate, the
okay.
guy averaged 30 disposals for about a lifetime. And it was
then-
only under Luke Beveridge
I was
that he
thinking-
really flopped out. So I'm excited to see what this guy can do in that midfield.
A lot of
And again, another guy named Jack coming into the Saints. They seem to love these blokes.
Yeah. All the Jacks get
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Carroll, Jack McRae.
Jack Carroll, Jack McRae.
Yeah.
It was, like you said, definitely Bevo's fault that Jack McRae didn't do much last season. So.
But we'll talk about
Anyway.
him when it gets to the Bulldogs. But yeah, I think Jack McRae you've got to start there. I think he's going to do wonders for that midfield. And apparently he is looking in tip-top shape. So,
He is. That's what I've heard as well. So.
that should be good. But you were speaking about the draft, the draft of
Stacked-
drafts.
The draft of drafts that we haven't seen in a while. 2 top 10 picks, obviously. Tobie Travaglia at pick 8, who's going to slot straight in, and Alex Taru at pick 10.
No, you mispronounced his name. The Flying Viking.
The Flying Viking.
The Flying Viking.
Flying Viking.
He's incredible.
Look, they're both going to be fine additions
Yeah.
to the team instantly. So
What was interesting was that Tobie Travaglia, obviously the defense,
Yeah.
closing speed, was one of the first defenders off the board
Yeah, he was the first defender off the board. I'm
in
pretty
a
sure.
He was
string
the
of
first.
midfielders. So,
There was none. Yeah, there was only mids and him
Yeah.
in the top 10.
so that shows you how they rate him. But also, let's think about that squad really quickly. Nas loves a bit of speed, a bit of run, closing speed.
Brad
Jack
Hill.
Sinclair,
Brad Hill.
Yeah.
bit of closing speed, bit of run. Brad Hill,
Liam Henry.
Liam Henry, they have speed for days. So I think he really fits in with that kind of like setup that Ross the boss is going for.
Outs, though.
Big
Quite a
outs.
few outs. Quite a
Yes.
few. So you got Brad Crouch, another legend of the club. Quite a few legends of their respective clubs retired this
Yeah.
year. Seb Ross and Jack Hayes were both delisted. Then you got the big ones here. You got Ben Patton.
And Riley Bonner as well.
And Bonner, sorry. Yeah, right. Riley Bonner. Ben Patton to the Swans. Tim Membry to Collingwood, who at times really stepped up for the Saints last year.
Yeah, they are going to miss his presence.
Yeah,
on board.
more than they realise, I think.
Yeah.
And then Josh Battle to
Yeah.
Hawthorn.
Mm.
Obviously, another big one, which they're hoping that Travaglia can kind of fill
Was
that role.
Battle he was All Australian this year?
No, the year before.
Year before.
Are you
yeah.
surprised at Bonner going?
I'm not. I think that they look at what Nas can do and they look at what Sinclair can do,
I
and
still
they
think
look at
it was-
Travaglia
Yeah, well, maybe
and
that's
that
enough.
closing speed. I think they go.
You don't think though for
we've got what we
injuries,
need.
you keep him around because they copped some injuries last year.
What are you keeping him for though? Like what? Just depth. Why don't you
Yes.
give it? They're not in a place where
I
they're going to
suppose they're
compete.
not. Yeah, no, good point. That's
Give
fair
a kid a
point.
go.
Yeah, it was just a question.
Yeah, no,
But
I like
I'm
it.
glad it sparked some
Sparks
discussion.
Exactly. All right, top player. I mean, again, this is going to be all across the board. Ron Marshall, surely.
Yeah,
All of us.
117 average.
I've
is
actually
an
got someone
absolute piss
different.
take.
Sinclair.
For top player.
RoMo. Sorry.
Fair.
Yeah, use his name correctly.
Fair. I got played. My
Yeah,
bad.
no, 117 average. What was that? The top averaging player?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was number one.
So he's going to be valued at over $1.2 million this
Yeah.
year,
Absolutely insane.
which is crazy.
Money.
Money. But yeah, I mean, a great player. What's really interesting is that you kind of mentioned Tom Campbell going to the Demons. Where's the ruck support now? It's all him, which is just chef's kisses when you think about what he's going to do.
If he plays all
And-
23.
I was
He
about to
will play
say.
all
I was about to
23.
say until he breaks a leg or something. Like, and
No,
then-
no, no,
Whoa,
no,
whoa,
no,
some
no.
wood.
Whoa, wait, yeah, come on.
touch wood.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, sort yourself
that
out.
man's a set and forget. Come on now. But look, he had 4 games over 140. Just stuff like that. It's and a 171 at one stage. I didn't even
Insane.
mention that.
Well, Alex Dobson, their rookie that they picked up in the draft, he is a ruck, so he could potentially be one of those options that they kind of play in there.
So they have kind of
Yeah.
replaced. Let's if he won't play obviously with Marshall being who he is, but at least they've got some sort of backup. But look, Marshall's a fantasy lock starter pack for any newcomers. Putting him in, you set and forget, leave him alone.
He is
Yeah.
a set and forget, yeah.
All right, worst or underperformer, bottom player for the Saints last year.
Oh, I don't want to do it, but I think I have to say we all had really, really, really high hopes for Nas, and he did not live up to it.
Croxy?
Nah, that's wrong. That's fucking wrong.
Did he live up to what you thought
Didn't
he
you
was
have him
going
at
to do?
105?
97.7, and your man Jack Sinclair down the back there, 101.
Yeah, who missed 3 games and played midfield majority of it in a side that doesn't favour a midfield role.
Yeah, so
So you outscored him
yeah,
in a role that's less friendly.
I don't know. I like Nas.
What did we say Nas was going to average? 95? And he said 105?
Yeah,
Yeah, but I can't remember exactly.
It's not
what it
really a
was, but-
downfall. Are you still
Well,
gonna-
no, I do. I think that if you think about his overall performance through the season, was it what we thought it would be? Absolutely not.
No, true.
And think about our defenders from last year.
Mm.
What were the top 6 defenders? You guys keep chatting while I'll get this up.
All right, well,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Have you
still
guys
think
got
he did
anyone
quite
else or
well
not?
For third season, I think he did quite well.
Yeah.
It's really hard to pick because St Kilda's got
He-
such a high performing team. Like on a
Well, fantasy scoring
scoring.
team,
Fantasy
not
Fantasy
high
scoring team,
performance.
as they have for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Have you got somebody, Ryan, or you want me to go?
you go.
All right. I've gone Mitch Owens for underperformer.
I mean, talk about irrelevant.
As of what about the year before though? What he had 70s the year before. He should have been up on that. Down 16 on his average. Had no games over 100. With their young core of what Darcy Wilson now, Cooper Sharman, Matthias Philippou, Ari Schoenmaker, all young guys. Owens was the only one that stepped back when they were all looking like these young core guys would be all stepping up and proving that St Kilda belong in that top 6. Here's one of the reasons why I think they had such a step back. He obviously got dropped. He got dropped. Actually, no. Sorry, I take it back. Owens didn't get dropped. Do you remember what happened to Philippou? Philippou got dropped mid-year, came back and decimated.
He did.
And it was perfect for
Yeah.
what we wanted. They needed to drop Owens as well.
Yeah.
But it's like he was like a key. They couldn't drop him. They should have. Young guys occasionally need that kick up the arse, and clearly that's what was needed for Philippou.
Yeah.
And it worked for him. So I think if it happens again this year, Owens needs to be dropped immediately. But it wasn't good enough from him, for me, last year anyway.
Yeah, Philippou came back and he did perform really well.
Yeah.
Like
And the same was expected of Owens for points, and he just didn't provide.
I'm trying to find the top 6.
Can't
I
find it.
can't find it.
What do you mean top 6?
The top 6 defenders.
Why would you not just go to Footy Wire and type in defender?
Yeah. Come on, Joshua.
I could do that.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, though, while you guys do that, we'll just keep going and you can jump in whenever you're ready. Boom player for last year.
Boom for me is Philippou.
Yeah, Mateus for me too.
I think, just to your point, what he did after he came back was incredible. And I think he's going to be a
But was it
phenomenal
enough
player.
for him to do that? He
Yeah.
got
He only
dropped
did 4
before that.
games, though,
I think
Yeah,
you wouldn't.
before that, and then played shit, got dropped, then came back. Is that enough for you to say he
Yeah.
was the boom player of last
For
year?
me, yeah, absolutely. Who else would you have?
Well, I've gone Darcy Wilson.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Man looked truly electric.
You look at Philippou, he only got 2 above 100, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he had 2 other 90s in
which is
After he came back,
4
right?
over a
But what
90.
he
and then
does.
you look at
Yeah,
the
I
start of the
get it.
season, and there's like 8 scores of less than.
I get where Josh is coming from though, because Philippou looked better than Wilson after he got dropped, but Wilson did it all year
Yeah, exactly.
as a rookie, basically. Like,
Which is why you'd say I'd pick him up as well. over
yeah, like
Philippou,
I
yeah.
honestly believe that Wilson was probably the better of those.
Just need a bit of consistency with Wilson.
he was up 308,000. I think we all had Wilson
Yeah.
at one
Yeah, we
stage
did.
and all made cash on him.
Cash
So it was
all up.
always good to do. And you compare it to Owens and Philippou, and he had a bit of
Maybe I'll take this back.
about the
You
top
seen the
6.
light?
Yeah, no, I mean, Nas is no. 103 is the lowest for the top 6.
What
So
was he
you're
at
talking
90?
about the
What was he?
defenders
6
now.
points off.
What was he at 97?
He was 97.
What was
Yeah.
it? Is that top 10?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Top 10. I think that's good. I think, yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
Apology. Yeah.
That's another apology
I
from
think-
Josh for me.
No,
Oh, Jesus,
I think it's
almost
because
ate the
I
mic
think
there.
about our argument was Jack Sinclair or Nas, and Jack Sinclair missed games and did better.
Okay. So in
I
that
think that's
regard,
why
you were
I'm-
right. Jack Sinclair's the better player, which we were argued about last year. But the problem with you've gone underperformer. You can't really give
Yeah,
Nas
well, I
underperformer.
would give him an underperformer.
You're still going to stick with
outscored
underperformer?
the other guy, but
Oh, wow.
that's in a head-to-head, I guess.
Jesus. All
You're
right.
being very harsh.
Oh, he is being
I
very
am being
harsh.
harsh. I am being harsh.
All right.
harsh and not fair.
Breakout player for this year for the Saints that are all really good fantasy relevant players.
Well, I'm excited to see what the Flying Viking does, to be honest.
Taru.
Yeah.
Is he going to play every game?
That's
Who
what,
knows?
if
Who
he's
knows?
fully
If Nas
replaced.
is shit, then maybe.
Nah.
I'm going the other way. Well,
I'm
not-
just trying to provoke Nick.
not
here.
not not the full other way. I'm going to go Tobie Travaglia. He's athletic defensive midfielder who I believe will fill. I think he'll.
Wait,
take-
that's what I meant.
You
Not
meant
the Flying
Travaglia.
Viking, Yeah,
Yeah, you meant
Travaglia, the
Travaglia.
defender.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
That's what I was
yeah.
like. I was
yeah,
like,
the
whoa,
speedy defender.
yeah, because I think he'll fill up the other halfback role, and Henry will move up to the wing.
Yep.
And I think that'll allow Sinclair to stay in the midfield.
Yep.
Permanently.
The other call out we got is Jack McRae.
Another great call. Yeah, I'm not even going to argue with that. I don't know about you guys. I think he's going to step up brilliantly. He got, what would you say, suppressed, nerfed,
Mate,
hindered,
what do you mean?
shot in the leg by.
There's nothing that happened to him that wasn't. He got.
He was so good.
He got
for you.
bevoed. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's
He got
what it is.
bevoed
He
in
got
a team
bevoed.
that Bevo wasn't coaching.
Yeah.
Oh my! All right, but you guys, any breakouts?
I think you're on the money, Josh. I agree with both of your calls.
Cray and Travaglia, yeah. Fair. Croxy,
Yeah.
Philippou could also be
Philippou's
a
another
jet.
one. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I would say that is more of a better call than calling him the boom or
Yeah, but
whatever.
do
Breakout.
they play him?
Yeah.
Do they play him in all games?
I think they will.
Philippou,
Though,
I think they will after
especially
his
with,
performance. Yeah.
The only thing that makes me not say him is that Jack McRae has to play in the midfield. That's the only spot for him. He can't do those stupid half forward, whatever. And with Crouch going out, like, I think those minutes get eaten up by Jack McRae.
Yeah.
Which is why I think Philippou might suffer a little bit. But if there's no McRae, he could be an absolute jet.
But then it depends what McRae looks like. McRae could look good for half a game and they'd be like, all right, go forward.
True.
So who knows? Either way, a lot of options for you guys out there.
Mid forward as well. So
Ultimate pick.
for me, it's McRae.
McRae?
Yep.
I've gone
RoMo.
I've gone RoMo. He's a
Yeah.
he's pure set and forget.
See, I'm just not going to pay $1.2 million for someone.
I think you've got to have him though. Like if you want
2 years, the last 2 years,
Do you know
he's been
what?
the best rock.
I'm actually not going to say Romo because last couple of years, what's happened to the number one rock?
That's a good point.
They've not done any good. I reckon I'm going to go with McRae as well.
Well, I still
Point
believe.
to prove.
I believe 2023 Marshall was still the best ruck, even though he was down by like half a point on English.
Even though you did go with English last season.
Yeah, and I went to top rock. Yeah, and look how regretted that.
I
Fucking.
think it's him.
But yeah, look, Marshall for me, Marshall for Ryan, and you guys both going McRae. I like it.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, Jack McRae. I think the value that presents, and in
Value
a forward
and-
line.
And the fact that he's just got that point to prove after, getting
I hope
top.
he does well. I really do.
I hope he
deserves
sticks
it.
it right up, Bevo. Honestly,
So do I.
goes and drops 40 on him, the bastard.
All right,
Bevo, if
be
you're
nice.
watching this,
Jesus. All right. Well, that takes us to our last and new little segment where we think they're actually going to finish. Where are the Saints going to finish, boys?
17th. I pre-picked
After
it.
all the hype that you're like, yep, Saints 17th.
Well, I'm just thinking about where I'm going to put all my teams,
Yeah, okay.
and I'm just whatever. They probably will finish higher, but yeah, 17th just because I got to fill out those.
hard.
It is. Ryan, have you got
Those tables.
anything?
11.
Ooh,
11.
that's big.
You've got 11 available?
I don't think that they're going to go 11. So
You don't have to agree with me. We never agree.
Yeah, that's
no, but 11th would be the highest of that middle bracket that I would put them at. I think they go 15.
Yeah, that is your one after
Yeah,
15.
I think
one
it has
after
to be
11.
15 based on what I've got left. What I've got left to work with. Over under on them is 10.5 wins. So that next tier down from the other teams we've been talking about at that point.
And I've got them in 12th. So we're starting to change up a bit of things. So it's I like it. The ladder's going to be very
Well,
interesting.
Nick and I were forced into a decision, but
No, that's on you guys.
yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up the Mighty Saints. Thank you for watching, listening, all that jazz. And we'll be back with who's next? Your boys.
next is the Bombers.
Your boys.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we finished lower down the ladder, but that is okay.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Later.